From calculated math rock, this band has evolved into a much more emotionally charged, danceable rhythm. Hi, I'm Maya Fear, and welcome to WatchMojo.com. And today we're speaking with the Foals. Can you tell us the origin story of the Foals and how you guys originally met?
We met in Oxford, where most of us grew up. I went to university there, and we sort of came together from the remnants of a few other bands. There was a band that Yanis, the singer and the drummer, were in when they were quite young. They were like a really serious math rock band. They took everything really seriously. They had like proper punk ethics, and they basically wanted to do something else and actually have some fans. So they decided to write pop music.
So who did you guys grow up listening to, and who are some of your musical idols?
I think the bands that bring us together, bands like Fugazi and Sonic Youth, Nirvana. I was never that into Nirvana, but the rest of the band was. The Pixies. When the band formed was in 2006, we were listening to a lot of dance music. I was listening to stuff on like Compact, you know, the German label, a lot of minimal techno that in retrospect was a bit shit, but that's what we were listening to. And the aspiration was to sort of join these two things, to make a kind of music that had a sort of techno template with guitars and quite a dry, like having quite a dry sonic palette, and that sort of fell by the wayside as we basically started making music that just came naturally to
us. So you wouldn't be able to describe your sound for someone that had never heard it before?
I could do it, and I'd do a really bad job of it. I think other people do a much better job of describing our sound, because I don't really think about it in words. I think our new record has a lot more going on in it, and is a lot less easy to pin down.
So how would you describe your live performance, and do you have any rituals before you go on stage as a band?
We don't really have any rituals aside from a bunch of guys jumping around in a room, kind of making out with each other without actually using tongues, that kind of thing. The show is always a lot more raucous than the album might suggest, because I think it's in our nature, it's certainly in the guitarist and the drummer's nature, to play really loudly and always a little bit too fast. And it's something that we're kind of sticking with just because it works. Whereas when we go into a studio and do an album, like that would just get boring for 60 minutes, I think.
So how has your music evolved from album to album?
Well, we've only done 2 albums, so it's like describing the journey between 2 points. It's just a straight line. We've learned to do different things. I think we got a little bit bored with the kind of dance punk thing that the last album sort of grew out of. I think we sort of recognised that if we were to continue down that path, we were basically going down a dead-end road. So we decided to do different things. We wrote songs in different ways. We used to write all of our songs in a small room, like playing really loud. So all the songs have had the same kind of dynamic. At least the guitarists would like go off to a room by themselves and just work on something quietly without drums, which allowed us to write songs like Spanish Sahara, where the first half of the song is kind of gouged out. I think if that song had been on the first record, it wouldn't have had the first half. It wouldn't have had the build, which is what makes the song work.
So your music has been featured in a couple of television shows like Entourage and Skins. So why do you think it's important for musicians to product place their music in a sense?
I think it's important for bands if they choose to do it. Skins was a weird one for us. In retrospect, that was like a big break for us. It was a really big deal. We didn't really know it at the time, and we kind of resented it because we were just really uneasy with a television show using our program for their own ends. We kind of got bullied into doing it by our management. And I think it's probably a good thing to do, but at the time, we hated it. And now we've come around to Entourage and it's in a different country. I'm a lot more relaxed about it. It depends how it's used. I think it's a lot less of an issue than actual advertising, because it's someone using it for another creative purpose.
Okay, so thank you very much for sharing your insight.
Thanks a lot, cheers.